Jim Franco, welcome. How are you today?
I'm great, Scott. Thanks for asking.
Well, it's good to be back on with you, Jim. We've got some exciting things to talk about today. And I think that we're going to start out talking about cash flow, which I think gets everyone's attention, right? And you know, cash flow is so important in a business, and it's especially important to the parts distributors and wholesalers. Has it always, you've been in all aspects of this business, has it always been that important?
100%. Cash flow is, it's a big buzzword. When you go right down to it, you need money to operate your business on. And when your cash flow all depends on how fast and efficiency you collect your receivables. Everybody's got receivables. That's the biggest part of the business. So yes, cash flow is very important.
And the more customers you have that you're extending credit to, that cash flow just gets tied up in a larger and larger and larger bundle, right?
Correct.
So I'll bet you sitting there at Autologue, you have a solution to help customers with this cash flow and collections. Tell us a little bit about it.
I would love to do that. And this dream of mine has been ongoing for at least 4 or 5 years. I've been trying to figure out how to do this aspect. You understand that everything we do at Autologue, we try and figure out more efficient ways for our customers to do business. And if we increase efficiencies and we increase accuracy, then they accept technology as a driving force. So I've got to back up just a notch and come out with when we brought out pay online. Now, obviously that increases. All the banks are doing it. You call your bank up and say, send a check out to this guy, et cetera, et cetera. That efficiency alone is phenomenal. It goes from one bank to the other, transactions done, no writing checks, no putting in envelopes, et cetera, et cetera.
So float goes away.
Float goes away. Yes, it does. Because when you pay online, I mean, credit cards affected. Now, you have the end of the month to pay your credit card if you're paid by credit card. But the cash flow to the distributor is basically right now. So to add to that, everybody gets paying online. But what they don't know about is our newest product that I've been dreaming about, like I said, for 4 or 5 years, is having to do an automatic ROA. What does that mean, Jim Franco? That means when and I've seen this in my own company, when the girls in the office Monday morning get a stack of checks about a half an inch, come in the door, they have to then open those envelopes up, go to the screen, go to that particular account's receivable page. That's where all their invoices and credits are sitting. And they've then got to post that ROA, either by invoice or by credit, et cetera, et cetera. They have to post that. Yes, a customer to post an ROA usually only takes a minute or two. But when you've got 150 or 200 customers, it takes time. So this automatic ROA means when that payment is made by the installer, the commercial account, and hits that button, it goes through e-office, goes through pay online, through the bank, right to your management system, by the way, Parts Watch management system, and goes into that ledger and updates that screen. No hands on board. And at the end of the day, of course, it's on your end of the day reports, it does tell you that you received that kind of money and what they paid. So that is going to save companies not hundreds of hours, thousands of dollars a year, and think about other aspects, what happens with this. Take about the pay online, the accuracy, the transposing of numbers, the checks in the mail or lost. That's all, I hate to say this, excuses are eliminated. Then when it comes to inside the office, I remember over a period of years, I've been doing this business a long, long time. If you have a customer who says, no, I've already paid that bill with that check. I've seen my girls go to the filing cabinet, get out 3 months of invoices and credits and statements, lay them across their desk, and spend hours reconciling by invoice number, by check number, what is paying what, and have to recap that and then send that to the customer, and more than likely get on the phone with the customer to explain what they just did. Do you know you can do 100% of that all online in the office? Huge.
I was going to mention the fact that you sort of minimize the effect of the check comes in, they go in and they post it to the account. How often does that check that come in really match exactly what's on the system? Never.
Therein lies the problem. So when they're paying online, you see, ladies and gentlemen, there's the amount and here's the amount. So pay that amount. It gets much cleaner than then just sending you a check for $500 and put that on my account. And you got to figure out what invoice that covers, et cetera, et cetera. And it is time consuming. This cleans all up. In fact, you can now with eOffice, you can have a customer on the phone with you, walk them through the office. They can see exactly where it is, reconcile the account. They can pop any invoice, open up the invoice, see what's on that invoice. It's a phenomenal product. So we've taken the accounts receivable all the way from the time the counterman pushed the cash or charge sale button, and that invoice is up on eOffice, to pay online, reconcile your statement online, and automatically update your parts watch system with all of your ROA payments. I am pretty proud of that product.
You should be. And you know, Jim, I think there's probably a residual positive effect because that customer's not waiting for you to call them back. That customer's not wondering about what your office girls are going to find after they've been through 3 hours of looking at all of the postings and things like that. They have the information right away, and the interface between your person and your customer can become much more positive.
Exactly. So you got to remember on this portal, both the distributor and the wholesale customer sees exactly the same thing at the same time when they're on the phone together. So it's pretty easy to see black and white rather than have to fax or email over and talk again, et cetera. They can just handle it right there. My daughter one time said, "Dad, there's 2 things I can't be without. My smartphone and eOffice. I can sit right at my desk and I don't have to go to the filing cabinets every 20 minutes, refile, misplace the files." I can go on and on and on about how cumbersome the accounts receivable have been through the 60-some years I've been in this business. It's always been not a problem because it's money. I got to have my money, but to control that efficiently and correctly without having taken all the time to do it, I call it the old-fashioned way.
Well, you know, Jim, we started this conversation talking about cash flow, and then we started moving into collections. But what we just talked about, the savings of time in your office, in the business's office, is a tremendous boost to cash flow because it takes your employees less time to satisfy the customer's needs or questions.
And that is correct. And people say, "But we can't do without the girls in the office." I say, you don't have to do without them. Just take off the mundane job they do and give them other things like, well, do we market to our customers? Do we call them up? Do we do any advertising? Do we have some in-office stuff that we do that's much more important than just sticking a stamp on an envelope and stuffing a statement in one, another, 150, 200 times, right? I mean, get down to it. And each process I just explained takes time. And we've eliminated the time. And not only that, Scott, the accuracy. No transposing numbers. No, like I say, getting the loss in the mail. I got to have the check, stop payment on it because you couldn't find it. All that stuff is eliminated. I'm excited how technology has definitely changed the relationship, the connection between the distributor and the wholesale account.
You know, Jim, I love the entrepreneurial thought process that you just went through. We watched it in front of us. You talked about saving employees time, but rather than just saying, and then I have to pay them less, you said, I can have them do more important things like market to our customers and sell, which you and I both know does nothing but grow your business.
Correct.
Very enlightening. Jim, as always, thank you so much for being with us. and we look forward to being with you on the next episode.
It's my pleasure, and have a blessed day. Thank you.
You too.